Isn't this gorgeous? Isn't this beautiful? I'm so glad you could join me, you guys, today to just check out my favorite swimming hole. And this is Rebecca, by the way, from Rebecca's Beautiful ASMR Addiction. You know, I wouldn't say this is really a swimming hole. This is just dunk in and get wet on the way up the mountain. You can see it's only about a foot deep, maybe foot and a half right there. There's this walking bridge, and this little hole that the dogs get wet in. But this down here is very shallow, and I'm thinking I see something sparkly in there. What is that? Can't see, but something was really sparkly. I'm gonna have to walk down there, you guys. I guess I'm just gonna go down there. Check it out. Oh my word, can you see that? There are like these little glass gems or something. I'm putting my stuff down here and I am going to collect. In fact, I think I'm going to empty this out because I was gonna just try to find a spot for sitting and thinking anyway, and collecting interesting items. But this is way above and beyond what I was expecting. I was just gonna journal and have a moment of quiet time, and now look what's happening. This is exciting. That's my stuff to keep mosquitoes off of me. So far there haven't been any around here. Really surprised. Look at here. What in the world? Who would do this? There seems to be a few different colors. Green, that is gorgeous. Look, I can see myself in the water. Green. This one looks like an ice cube. How strange. How strange and wonderful. Look at these. All this silt. There's like a fine dirt that's coming up whenever I pick one of these up. Not too bad though. The water is like crystal clear here, you guys. It's gorgeous. And until you move something. Look how beautiful this water is, you guys. It's so cool and refreshing. It's very hot out today. And it's still early morning, too. Wow, these are blue and red. I wonder what other colors there are. Maybe the gem fairy came last night and threw all these out there. My grandkids would love these. They probably belong to two. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, I knew I'd be getting in the water, so I'm glad that I have these shoes. This little creek here is running through the Susanville Ranch Park. I don't know which order it goes, but it's the ranch. And isn't that beautiful? Gosh. There's there's no real ranch here except for that. And maybe I can show you after I'm done collecting. They have a big open field where they allow people to bring their livestock. It's city-owned land, but people can bring their livestock and just utilize the fields. I don't think I've ever seen any cows or anything in the field out here, but that's what it's for. And then it just goes off into the mountains and you get right up into the pine trees, so it's just gorgeous. One day I'm gonna bring my sister here, the one who isn't well. She's not well yet. But I've come here with my other sister on our bikes. She has an electric bike and I have an electric bike. And we come up here. But today I was just walking. Lo and behold, beautiful colored pebbles in my stream. Glad I had this backpack too. Whenever I go into the woods, I like to collect various items that might decorate my yard, you know. I'm done collecting pine cones. I have those up to my eyeballs in my house, but these are just so fun. Look at that. Gold. And they're the colors that I decorate my house in too. Red, green, and gold. But there's these clear ones too. There's some blue ones. Oh, here's some more over here. Oh my gosh, it's endless, you guys. This is like a little fantasy dream come true. Here's some down here by that grass that they look like ice cubes. This part of the creek is where the water runs out into the plants. Just gonna throw them all into my backpack for now. The other day I was in the house and I was actually in the bathroom and I dropped my cell phone, a big iPhone 12 that I use for filming, what I'm using for filming right now. I dropped it on my toe from way up standing position, and oh my word, that hurt so bad. I just screamed out loud. Landed just right on my big toe. And then when I went to pick it up, as I'm coming back up, I totally bumped my head on the bathroom sink. And I mean, I was hopping mad and in so much pain. Somebody else might have laughed, but I was just furious. Aching toe, aching head. So, my foot has a deep blood blister on my toe. Look at these gorgeous, gorgeous things, you guys. Red. There's a green one. Ice cube. Red again. What a strange combination. Move over here into the green and another ice cube. Look at all these. What a beautiful day. Man. Here's where the creek goes down. Show you these plants. They grow really profusely along the beautiful here, you guys. It was already like fairyland before I found these, man. Blue. Snout. Okay, some of these are kind of falling down in between these little rocks. There's so much silt, you know, when you move the rocks around, trying to step lightly. You can see this one's really big and obvious. No doubt I'm going to be leaving quite a few here for other people to find. I mean, how much does one person need anyway, right? See, there's probably stuff in those weeds. I'm not going to try to get those. Okay, that one just disappeared down into the dirt. How hard am I willing to try? There it is. Dirty. Isn't that pretty? Green, red. It's like Christmas in July. Look at all those. Obviously these are made of glass, but colored glass. How fun is that? Look at the way the water reflects the sun. Isn't this beautiful? What a beautiful day. I have to tell you that I've already had somebody stop and ask me, what in the world am I doing? There's a lot of people that take this trail. They stop and, you know, have their dogs take a drink and a little dip in the water. Seems like these big rocks kind of hold treasure sometimes too. Maybe there'll be a fish. Look at, oh my gosh, you guys. Whoa, I just hit the treasure trove. Look at all these. Oh my word. It's so pretty. So pretty. I'm in the part of California that these creeks and rivers are where some of the gold panning happened a lot. Lots of treasures in these creeks around here, creeks and rivers, and ice cubes. That's what they're like. So who needs gold when you can find these beautiful things? All this bending over. If I had known I was going to find these things, I would have brought like a low-sitting chair or something. There's no kneeling down for me, so. Oof, you know? Can you hear that, you guys? I have never heard a bird that sounds like an actual whistle blowing. Oh, that's just so amazing. He's probably squawking at me in the trees above because I'm in his territory. I wonder if the crows around here are going, hey, those are our shiny things. That's where this man just walked by with his dog. And he was asking me what I was doing. And I told him, I'm just filming myself doing this video for other people. Just kind of try to explain to him that I take people along to do all the things that I do. And that it's relaxing and helps them sleep. And he goes, oh, that's so interesting. Kept on talking to me, and he told me that the water that normally came through this park was very different. That the people of the town got together and decided that they would kind of manipulate the terrain a little bit. The water of the creek, exactly, to be exact, and make it as though we had beavers here. So they fashioned the creek in such a way as, look at, I see something. Whoa, you guys, this is the mother lode. This is the mother lode. Oh my word. Is that not gorgeous? It looked like somebody was trying to hide it. Wow. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, they changed it in such a way as to make the creek seem lived in by beavers, and it then created a wetland. It created more flowers, more green. Instead of the water just rushing through, it is meandering slowly through the land to allow birds and habitat that will cause all this green. Look at all this green, you guys. And I'll show you more after a while. I think that was pretty clever. I'm looking for more of those big gems because, my goodness. Yeah, so he was also telling me about some social clubs in Susanville that people that go hiking and get together and go hiking in the city. honestly thought I was single. Personally, I think he kind of had an interest in me, and I was going, that feels good to the ego, especially at my age. But that's because I'm not wearing my rings today. I have no rings on and no jewelry. Whenever I come out into the mountains, I just keep it simple. Wow. I'm telling you, it's like it never ends. I have to leave some for some other people, but I'm taking a lot. Maybe I can just decorate in my house with some of these. Anything in here under this big rock? No. Bunch of dirt. There it goes, downstream. See how still that water is. It's like this log is like a beaver dam. It's working like a beaver dam. I wonder if I have enough. Enough for what, right? Just enough. Look at all those. I could probably fill this whole bag up, but I don't think that would be nice. So why don't we just go ahead and clean these up a little bit? Okay, I'm so glad I brought these bags and these rags. I figured I'd have to wipe my feet to get back into my shoes, but now they're being handy dandy for wiping down these wet. Forget about my feet. They'll dry. Well, I have that other towel. I don't like to wipe my feet on the big beach towels. I just wanted to be able to sit on that one. Well, I've got to tell you too, that it's an interesting concept to create a creek that acts like there are beaver that live around. And so that concept I understand, but years and look at this, you guys. It's good. I have to try to show you in the light. Can you see that? My word. It's crazy beautiful. Anyway, I used to live on a property out in Butte, Montana. We had 33 acres, more land than I've ever owned in my life. Back when things were affordable, and it was just gorgeous because it had an aspen grove that ran the whole length of the property going crossways. And we had this creek that I had on my property looked a lot like this, actually, but a ton of aspen growing on either side of the creek. So one big giant organism out there. Well, the breeze is kicking up a good because it's getting hot. Anyway, out there we had beaver. We had too many beavers, if you can imagine. And the problem was that they were taking down, there was too many and there wasn't enough aspen trees. Now it's just really weird to think that ecology can go in either direction, right? So California, you know what, maybe the beaver just got hunted too much and that's why we don't have any out here. Or at least not very many right in this area. Or any at all, I don't know. But in Montana, the last best place to live, as they say, there were too many beaver in Butte in this area, and so they were trying to cut down the population. They were just ruining all the aspen groves, and same with our property. We never tried to exterminate any beaver. We just, on our property, we just let it go. But so many, there were so many. So it's just kind of strange how now, in our town, we have a lot of deer that live in the town. And when hunting season comes, no, we don't, nobody's allowed to hunt the deer that live in town, okay? You still have to go out to designated areas in the mountains and so on. The population of the deer in town, I think, kind of controls itself because there's only so much food. But people like me help keep them fed from time to time. So, I do know that when I lived in Montana, there was an overpopulation of deer in the mountains, okay? I don't even know how that's possible. But there was. And so when a hunting season opened up, they could just go out and people could have, 2 tags instead of just one. So out here it's very different. California and Montana have very different laws of the land. Because it's still really wild up there in Montana on so many levels. And these beautiful, beautiful blue stones. They look just like water all by themselves. Such a gorgeous color. I think I've got all of them. I'll probably find a loose one here and there. Already. Yeah, that might be it for now. So the other day, should I close it? Better if I left it open to dry. Oh well, maybe a little bit later. When I was, it was just a day ago, just a day or two ago, that there is this one deer in town that has taken a liking to me. he discovered that we have some birdseed to feed him with, and I'm never seem to be ready with fresh fruits and foods and stuff. But I just, if I see it coming around, I quick go outside and grab some birdseed. Look at these gold colors. Oh my gosh, you guys. Beautiful gold. Oh, I love it. Anyways, this one deer, just ever since my sister came to live with us, which was actually even before I made the announcement of my life update. She had been there for a few days already. Anyway, both of my sisters were sitting in the living room, and suddenly this deer came, and so we fed it, and we fed it right in an area so that my sister could see it from her chair. We just opened the front door. Can you see it? Can you see it? She says, yeah, I can see it. And she goes, wow, because the deer just came up and just ate the food off the ground, and she could just watch it grazing there, you know. It's so beautiful. Alright, so just 2 days ago, that same deer came back again. It's been about 4 times now it's come back. So I led this deer, you know, he's kind of following me around because he knew I had a cup of birdseed to feed it. And so I knew my sister was sitting in her chair in the living room again, and I said to my sister, can you see his face? She said, yeah, I see his face. And so I started pouring birdseed into my hand, and the deer just ate right out of my hand and just kept eating and eating, so she got to watch that whole thing. And it just ate out of my hand over and over again until it was finished with that whole cup of seed. I was enchanted, and so was she. I can't believe it. And then, not only that, for the first time ever, this is the 3rd time I've been able to feed a deer in town out of my hands, but this one is different. It keeps coming back. Not only did it finish all the seed in my hand, but it stayed even when it was done. And I reached out my hand and scratched its little head on the top of his head. She was a doe. And, I mean, maybe really young, I don't know, but it let me pet it, you guys. I was so enchanted, enthralled, and I think this one might be my friend now. It might trust me, and maybe it'll even just hang out with me. I totally had this fantasy after that about maybe it just, you know, sitting on the grass with me or something, you know, or on my front porch. I don't know. I was thinking, how lovely to have a deer just to hang out with and pet his head, and it was just awesome. And this particular doe is so beautiful. So beautiful. There was a loose blue one. I knew I was going to have one. These are white. I've already done all my ice cubes while I chit-chatted at you guys. There's a green one. I'm not ready for green yet. The loose gold one. gonna be this. I've only got 3 colors left in here. That's the clear and the green and the gold. I mean the green and the red. These are, well, they're clear, but they've got like, you know, they look like children's bubbles. They have this slight rainbow look. You know, I'm just so in storytelling mode that I have been neglectful to show you close-ups of these little guys. But hopefully you can see how beautiful they are. These red ones, these red gems make me think so much of like little pomegranate seeds. Just gorgeous. Let's just go ahead and I've got red and green happening here at the same time, so I might as well just work on both at the same time. I mean, they're mostly dry anyway. I've already had somebody try to cross the bridge I'm sitting on, and I'm taking up the whole space, and I had to apologize. Say I'm sorry. One person just said, "Oh, no problem," and then they crossed the smaller bridge down there with that little log I showed you earlier. It's going across the water. But this bridge is heavily trafficked. I wouldn't say heavily. I would say so far there's been about four different people who've come around while I've been here. And morning is, you know, cooler time of day, so that's when people are walking and bringing their dogs. Kind of reminds me a little bit of when I'm doing a film in the grocery store, and you have people come by and they, you know, you just go and they think I'm absolutely crazy. I know they must. And only 2 people have been curious enough to ask me, what in the world am I doing? And then, you know, I've gotten better at explaining what I do in a more succinct way so that people don't look at me like I've got 2 heads. But how do you explain, I'm collecting pieces of glass from the creek. People are really nice here, I'm telling you, especially the people that come through here. Wilderness lovers are my kindred spirits, you know, people who like to come out and just hike with their dogs and be out in nature, communing with God. It's just, everyone I've talked to has been so nice. I'm almost done here. What do you think I should do with these? I could put them in the bottom of a vase with flowers in it. Oh my gosh, you guys, the zinnias in my yard have gone crazy. It's just insane. They're like fireworks. It's the slowest motion fireworks you've ever seen, but look at this, you guys. Pomegranate seeds. Pomegranate seeds. Don't they look like they'd be fun to eat? That's it. this thing is so got a little bit of water in it, so let's just try to dry it out some. I think the straps are hopeless. I'm just gonna have to let them drip dry in the air. I think the clear plastic vinyl is like glass in a way. If you leave the water drops on it, you'll have dried up water drops visible on your surface. You guys, I haven't even needed this bug off. I thought I was gonna like have mosquitoes eat me alive here, and there hasn't been a single one. What is up with that? Is it just too hot and dry? I don't know. It's water. Not a single mosquito's been bothering me. Look at this. It's not drying very well. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think I'll leave it wrapped up in this towel. Just stick that in there. That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. That's not enough for a vase, but I wanted to leave some for other people. Green. I could combine the colors, maybe. It's so gorgeous. I still have my feet dangling in the water. Feels really good. So glad I have these water shoes. Pretty, pretty, like bubbles. It's weird how they carry an rainbowish color, like bubbles. This is the color of the water. Can you see it? Looking down at the water and looking down at these. It's the same color. The sky. There's my ice cubes. The same thing as the bubbles. There's like a pinkish, kind of iridescent rainbow color in those. Just gorgeous. And the gold. Kind of the color of the resin that you find on pine trees. So beautiful. Okay, that's it. There isn't gonna be much room in here for the stuff I brought, so I'm gonna have to kind of carry things out. There's a little bit of room in there, though. I can put my journal and the important items in there. Now, let me show you around. Let's get up and see back there, there's these beautiful flowers. I'm just gonna go barefoot. I think it's safe. See those flowers, you guys? So gorgeous here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take a little walk over the bridge here. And see, there's the open field out there for the grazing of the animals. And here by the water, there's all these wildflowers. Beautiful, beautiful purple flowers. All this green. There's the grazing field out there. That's why they've got it corralled. In here, let's venture out. I am bare feet, and the ground is perfectly soft and wonderful. Look at those tiny little daisy-looking flowers. Aspen trees. The aspens look like they're struggling a bit. They're not close enough to the water. More purple flowers, yellow flowers, just gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? Okay, well, I am going to head back because our time together is coming to a close. And I'm so happy that you guys would come and hang out with me for this little adventure. Take a look at this creek one last time before I say goodbye.